As I was saying, welcome to Wellness Wednesdays. This idea was born out of an understanding of what is going on in Trinidad and Tobago right now, and persons being so tired of this prolonged lockdown that we have to go through right now. But it's not permanent. And the idea of wellness is, of course, you are actively pursuing activities, choices, and lifestyles that can bring a state of holistic health. With that said, our guest today is Ms. Chelsea-Marie Spence. She's an exercise physiologist and she's been practicing for the last 4 years. She would have studied abroad and very knowledgeable about why you need to exercise, yes, and how you should exercise. Chelsea, welcome.
Hi, everybody.
All right, great. Now, Chelsea, a lot of times you hear, I need to exercise, it's good for me, it helps with diabetes, it helps me feel good even if I don't have any illness, etc. How much exercise does someone really need?
Okay, so there is a dose that they recommend. They recommend 30 minutes of exercise, 3 to 5 days for the week, right? Um, Ideally, a lot of people at this point in time may not be able to set aside 30 minutes to an hour a day to exercise. So there are little tricks that we can facilitate in order to accomplish this goal because we really need to move. We need to keep moving. Our bodies were meant to move, right? So sitting behind your desk all day, sitting on the couch is not going to be good for the bodies. We have to move. So we can engage in a minimum of 10 minutes of exercise, and this can be broken up through the course of the day. But it also should be designated time. When I say designated time, I mean don't leave it for chance and say, well, okay, I'll do it later, because sometimes later comes and other things take priority and we never get that workout in. So if you have to set 10 minutes aside, so if you know, so now, for example, a lot of people are working from home. So we no longer have that rush to get to the office. So we may actually have a little extra time in the morning to facilitate a 10 minutes. So yes, I know we may want to lay in bed a little bit longer because we no longer have to get up and rush, but we still need to keep a schedule throughout the day. So if you get up similar times that you would if you were leaving to go to work, now take 10 minutes. If it's stretching, if it's dancing, if it's doing some yoga, some breathing, anything that can keep you moving, try to schedule a time specifically for that in the morning. Then, before bed, okay, I can also assign another 10 minutes. So you at least get 20 minutes. If you do this 20 minutes the entire week, you will build up to the overall recommended minutes. So it's minutes that they recommend. They recommend 30 minutes, 3 to 5 days a week, so 150 minutes. We're not saying that you have to do this all at once. It can be broken up. So if you do 20 minutes today, 20 minutes another day, it will eventually add up. A little bit is better than nothing. So if all you have to spare is 5 minutes or all you have to spare is 10 minutes, really try to get up and move. It's going to be beneficial for your body. Sitting all day, our muscles are not working. So when we do venture out to move, we find that we have a lot of aches and pains because of that lack in consistency to move.
All right. Chelsea, I lost audio there. Okay, great. All right, thank you. Now, as we move through the discussion, please feel free to leave any questions, comments, and we will answer it as we go through the session. Yes? Now, Chelsea, I've also heard, I don't know if it's the 80-20 rule when it comes to the exercising and the eating, because a lot of times people this, you know, I remember seeing a picture recently with Will Smith, and he was showing the amount of weight he had put on
Yes.
based on COVID, right? And of course, you have the reduced activity, but you also have the increased eating. You know, can you talk a little bit about that for me? The whole, you know, the importance of the eating and the exercising.
Yes, so it is a balance, and with balance, everything is done in moderation. So the eating is also a huge aspect in terms of feeling healthy, looking healthy, but in also in terms of our weight control. Yes? So putting a lot of energy in, that's what we do when we eat. When we eat, we're putting energy into the body. When we exercise, energy is being burned, right? But if we're putting a lot of energy into the body and then we're not doing any exercise or any movement, because it doesn't always have to be a structured exercise program. There are many ways to keep moving. But essentially, if we're putting energy in, we're eating, we're eating, we're eating, but then we're staying on the couch or we're staying in bed, we're staying behind the desk and we're not moving, the weight is going to pack on because there's no burn for the energy that we're putting in. We're not balancing the scale. And also, what we're eating is important. Any and everything cannot be eaten all the time. It's in moderation. We have the food groups for a reason. So it's not that you're going to cut out the carbs, cut out proteins, cut it out. Okay, specifically at different times, you can alter your diet for reasons, but we do need the food groups, but we need to have it in moderation. I am not going to tell anybody that you cannot have ice cream, you cannot have cake, you cannot have this snack, you cannot have that snack. But how often are you having it? Are you going to have ice cream every single day of the week? Or is this a treat? Because some of them, because of what is put in to make it, is going to increase your sugar content. But increasing your sugar and not exercising, increase risk of diabetes. Reduce the risk of the diabetes by exercising. Reduce the risk of the hypertension by exercising. So what you're putting in, you're essentially burning as well. So we have to find that balance in order to not end up on the flip side of the scale where we're wondering, how come I'm not losing the weight? Or why do I feel so sluggish? Because it's not always about the weight. It could be how you're feeling. So you wake up in the morning and every morning that you wake up, you're feeling tired. But what are we putting into the body? And are we expending energy to release the hormones that also make you feel better, you know? So it's really key for you to find the discipline. Discipline, balance, moderation. Those are key words that we need to have. I don't know if you have it plastered on your wall, things that you need to see it to remind you. Because sometimes we say stuff a lot in our head and it floats away. We think about it for 2 seconds and then 2 seconds later we don't remember what we just thought about. But we need to have that discipline in order to excel and feel good, move good, feel healthy. We have to remember as we age, there's an inevitable decline that's happening. We can't control it. It's happening to our bodies as we age. But we have to take care of the body. And moving is a part of taking care of the body. Our bodies were meant to move, right? We have to be cautious also on how we move. Because everybody's not going to be able to move in the same way and do the same thing. And in order for you to keep moving, it's crucial that you find something that you enjoy. Don't make it a chore. A lot of times we make it a chore and it's like, oh gosh, I have to go on a run now. Oh, I have to go and do yoga. If you don't like yoga, then why are you signing up? If you like dancing, sign up for a dance class or aerobics class. Something that you enjoy, something that you do not mind spending half an hour at. We don't want to do this out of spite to ourselves. We want to do it for the enjoyment, for the love of it. You want when you're finished that you can feel better, you can feel happy about it, you know? So it's really important that we continue to be consistent, but also find that balance.
Okay,
Same
great.
thing with the exercise in terms of the moderation. You don't want to do too much either because then we can increase our risk of having injuries. So everything that we do in life, whether it be spiritual, emotional, mental, everything requires a scale. And where do we fall on the scale? We want to try to find that level ground to work with.
Okay, great. Now, we have some persons here. Can persons share, in terms of, are you all working from home? What sort of, you know, where, what sort of information will be most beneficial? Because this is your session, so we want to make it as beneficial for you as possible. Any particular area in exercising? Is it that you want to start? Is it that you find you're not consistent and you want to maybe get some tips on how to be consistent? What are some of the challenges that you might be facing with an exercise program? You can just drop a line in the comments. I'll pick it up as we go along, What will be beneficial? What will be most beneficial to you to hear from us this evening? Because we have ideas, but we would like to hear from you what you would like to hear about the whole exercise. Now, one of the things that so drop a line in the comments, and I'm just waiting to see. While I wait, though, one of the ideas that I heard about recently, exercise snack, and I really like that idea. And it goes back to what Chelsea was saying there about the 10 minutes, etc. And 10 minutes finding that time, etc. Chelsea, can you maybe share some tips with us in terms of how it is we can maybe help ourselves to set maybe reasonable goals, etc., for ourselves when it is we exercise and our expectation. I mean, you hinted there that exercising too much can cause a problem, right? In terms of, you might cause damage and injury, etc. I know one of the things that you're very strong on too is that in starting your exercise program, you should get sign off, from your doctor, etc., before you jump right in. So I'm throwing that out to you, what would you like to share in terms of possible tips, from your experience with persons, because I know you work with persons, older persons, um, younger persons, you have a wide range of persons that you work with, you know?
Yes, so I'll just reiterate on the exercise snack if you have any new people dropping in. So in terms of the exercise snack, it's really finding that time to move, right? I like to say the word move a little bit more than the term exercise. Because some people, when they hear exercise, it kind of throws them back a little bit. So it's really about movement, right? Yes, we do recommend a certain amount of exercise, but we all can't facilitate an hour to exercise. So when we say exercise snack, it's a short period, just like a snack. When you grab a bag of chips, right? You're not going to eat that for a long period of time. It's a short period of time just to grab and go. So your exercise snack is about 10 minutes. We can say 7 to 10 minutes where you find that time to really just get up and move, loosen up, take a stretch. So in terms of tips, it's important that we schedule. Scheduling is important, right? We can't say I'm going to exercise today and not know exactly when I'm going to exercise. Granted, things happen, but if it's not written down or it's not in the back of your mind that at 3 o'clock I am going to go outside, then bet your bottom it's probably not going to happen. So we need to schedule it. Write a to-do list. Write a list of things that you need to do. In terms of also another tip, we now have meetings happening at home. So if it's a call meeting or conference meeting where you're not being seen, walk. Walk about. You can walk around while you're on the call. So you're getting movement, you're getting your steps in for the day. You can also stack some books a little bit higher, so you can put your laptop a little bit higher, so you can stand for a period of time with whatever documents that you're typing, what you're doing at your desk, so you're not in that seated position all the time. It's just important that we change positions also. So we're not going to stand for the entire day. We're going to stand and we're going to sit, but we need to have the option of switching that position and also checking what is my posture like. Am I slouching a lot throughout the day? Am I keeping my back pressed against the chair? Is my feet flat on the ground? Those are important tips also for those that are working from home and are behind the desk, right? Later on, I'll share a few exercises that you can do just from sitting there, because we're not going to always have the time to get up and move. But it's important that we can know, we have to know, okay, I need to do something. Something is better than nothing, as I said earlier. So get that snack, even if it's 5 minutes. If it's 5 minutes, you know, okay, I just came out of a meeting and I have another one starting in 10 minutes. I'm going to grab some water. I'm going to spend 5 minutes just kind of loosening up. I'm not going to sit there for that 10 minutes waiting for my next meeting to start, right? Also, in terms of tips, getting some fresh air. Right now we're restricted in terms of not being able to exercise outdoors and also working from home. But we can come out to our front porch, come out into the yard, wherever it is, just to get some sunlight, get some fresh air, move. Even if you like walking, take some laps around the house. Are you going to jog? Are you going to walk? But also, if you are now starting, you want to start, but you're not sure, it's also important to get clearance from your doctor, especially if you may have some comorbidity, just so that they can sign off on, yes, you are okay to exercise. They may also recommend where you start. You probably may need to start at a lower level before you increase. You don't want to just start and say, I'm going to run 5 miles today, if you have not run in months or you haven't run at all. You really need to get there gradually. Also, just jumping into it may also set you back, because you jump into it and you do this great workout, but it was a little bit too intense for you. Now you're sore for more than the length of time that soreness usually dissipates, right? So you want to gradually get in there, improve slowly. It's all about feeling good. It's not always about what's happening externally. And we kind of, based on the world that we're living in, how things are advancing, we always look at the physical appearance. But that's not always the case. It's also what happens internally. And how am I feeling? Is this giving me a little bit more mental clarity? Is this allowing me to feel and express my emotions a little bit better? A simple 5 minutes of exercise per day can really do that for you, because you increase your endorphins, you increase that hormone that just makes you feel happy. So it's really important that we, and I like how she termed it, we get that exercise snack. Yeah? Don't feel pressured to do 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour. Don't feel pressured. And don't always think about it as exercise. Just think about it as movement. How am I going to move today? How am I going to feel relaxed? Am I just going to do some stretching? Am I going to look at a YouTube video? Am I going to go outside and take a walk? It's really up to you. Some people prefer to have some motivation. They prefer to hire somebody as a coach to guide them, and that's good. Some people are able to go off on their own but it's also your mental ability, what we term as bad mind. Are you able to really press on your own, or do you need that extra hand? Do you need somebody behind you telling you this is what you need to do? And sometimes that may help. And you may do that for 3 months and realize I'm into this and I can go off on my own. You don't necessarily have to have somebody as your coach forever. Some people enjoy that. They enjoy that communication, that motivation, somebody to always push them. And some people just need somebody to light them up and get them going. So you can start off, you get your 3 months, and then you say, okay, I think I'm ready to go off on my own, I can do this. But it's really getting started. And getting started does not mean going big. It's the little moments, and the little moments are going to add up.
Great. All right. Well, Chelsea, what I would like to ask you now is to just actually demonstrate and show some movement, some exercise that persons can do at home. I'll leave that in your court. And persons, you can, as I say, comment, drop a line in the comments, anything in particular you would like to ask. So Chelsea, the floor is yours.
Sure. Just so you all can see my entire body. Good. So we're behind the desk all day, right? We may not always have time to move. So I'm going to begin by showing some simple stretches that we can do. So we're sitting on our, they call it the sitting down syndrome. So we're sitting a lot. So our glutes, our butt muscles are actually inactive. Our lower back is under a little bit of pressure. So those are the areas that we need to kind of relieve a little bit. So an easy stretch is actually, while you can sit on the same chair, but extending one leg, keeping the other one straight, and just reaching forward as far as you can. You're going to feel a stretch to your hamstrings, the back of the leg. You can hold that for 10 to 15 seconds. So as you reach there, you're just going to hold it. And take a deep breath in. When you take that deep breath in, as you exhale, you're going to kind of push through the movement a little bit more, and you're going to realize you can move a little further, right? So you're going to take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, just push forward a little bit more and hold that stretch there for 10 seconds. You're going to really feel your glutes and your hamstrings getting that nice stretch. The next one will be to cross your leg, right? This is a figure 4 position. And all we're going to do is just lean forward slightly. This one targets the glutes a little bit more. Some easy stretches to do while we're sitting so that we can keep moving. We want to keep loose, right? So you're going to just lean forward and hold that there for a few seconds. Same 10 to 15. And the breath is also important. You want to control your breathing. And as you take that deep breath in and you exhale, move through the movement and get a little bit lower and hold it there for 10 to 15 seconds. Right? Another exercise that we can do, I call it peekaboo. Right? So we're behind the laptop all day, so our shoulders most times are going to cave in. But we want to get that reset. We want to find that nice posture. So what we're going to do is clasp our hands behind the head. And we're going to bring the elbows in. So it's almost like we're saying hello. Right? So peekaboo. So you're going to open up those shoulders and squeeze the back together. Right? You're going to open. And you can do 10 reps of that. Just opening. You're going to feel that we're getting some release in those shoulders. So get in there, just open up wide. And you can even hold it here for a few seconds. The ball is in your court. You know what you're feeling in your body. So open and just hold it there. Another one is we're on the laptop, we're on the phone, we're watching the television. So a lot of times our head drops, right? But when our head drops, it actually weighs more. than when our head is in this neutral position. So we kind of then wonder how come our neck and our shoulder is always so tense, because we're like this on the phone, we're like this on the laptop, right? So some easy, just get the head moving, side to side, up and down, and then tuck the chin in, right? So you're gonna tuck that chin in. You can use two fingers just to guide and tuck that chin in. And that's the cycle. So you want to go side to side, up, down, and then tuck. Right? If we have two more exercises. So if we have more time and we want to get moving, these are stuff that we can just do throughout the day. If you decide, okay, I want to do some squats, you can do a sit-to-stand, which is using your chair. So you're going to cross your hands, you're going to stand all the way up, and you're going to sit back on your chair. It's a form of a squat. You're going to get those legs moving, you're going to get the butt going, and we're going to keep those muscles nice and active. Right? So it's just a tip. You can set out for yourself that I am going to do 100 of these today, right? So in order for me to do 100, I'm not going to have time to do 100 all at once. But I can do 10 every hour until you reach your 100. I can set an alarm on my phone. I can put it in my calendar. Just as a reminder, we need that reminder. All the time that we say it verbally, we don't always remember. We need to see it. Let it pop up on your screen. We use our phones and our computers all day, right? So let it pop up. Set that reminder. 10 squats, 10 sit-to-stand. Move, stretch, whatever you want, whatever you plan on doing, put it in your phone. Our phones are our diaries these days. So we need to take advantage of it, utilize it, right? That reminder is going to set you off and you're going to say, hey, time to move. You're going to set aside your time and you're going to get those 10 reps in, right? My last exercise is a standing one behind the chair, right? So because we're sitting, we want to engage the butt muscles. Sitting on them, they're not working. So what we're going to do is just take that leg out to the side. We're keeping the knees nice and straight, ankles locked, tighten the butt muscles, and we're just going to lift. And take that leg out to the side. Yes? But you have to be creative. So if you have a conference call, if you're standing, you decided, okay, I need to stand. I'm going to stand for the next 20 minutes while I type this email and you stack some books. While you're standing and you're typing, you can get moving. Yeah? Those are the little things that we need to engage in to help us. It's not always designated time. And as I said before, utilize the phone. Set the alarm or put the reminder, put it in your calendar. Let it pop up. When it pops up, it's going to be up here a little bit more. And you're going to say, you know, I put that in my calendar and missed it. But if it's on your calendar every day and you keep missing it, it's going to bug you. And once it bugs you, you're going to get moving. Right? So those are just a few exercises that you can do while you're sitting at your desk. Take 5 minutes, take 10 minutes, get up, move. If we can't get up, there are a few stretches that we can do just to loosen up. Take a break between your meetings or between sending emails, loosen up, realign, check your posture, because we don't always recognize that we've been like this and 2 hours has passed. So check that posture and really open up those shoulders, those back muscles. They're important, yeah? Because sometimes we stay in this position so long that just reaching over to pick something up from the cupboard or in the bathroom, we wonder why our shoulders are aching so much. but it's because we are not familiar to those actions, but our body has been so locked up and tight in this area. So we really need to open up through the chest, through the back.
Thank you so much, Chelsea. I'd like to invite persons who are here to please, ask some questions in the comments, and we'll be glad to answer. So I'd like to invite persons to please ask the questions now. Right. Yes, yes, Charmaine. Posture is very important. We don't realize that, and how we sit and how we stand. I mean, that can age you. People don't realize that, when you have a bad posture, that is one way that ages you.
Correct. So it's very important that we have to do self checks. Stand in the mirror, look at your posture, look how you stand, just stand natural. Stand in your elements and realize, I find the forehead is kind of pushing forward a little bit, my shoulders are caving in, or my hips. Once you can recognize it, you can create the solution. We have the ability to create the solution.
Okay, great. All right. Thank you. Yes, someone is saying very good session. Any questions? Thanks for that comment, KJ. We have a proud mom. She had signed in earlier. Natasha, you have any questions? Any more questions anyone would have? Because I think that, if it is, we can take one thing from this session. If persons can maybe share in the comment what is something that was said today or this evening that they found was useful to them and that they can take home. Well, they're at home now, but you can use from tomorrow. All right. I'm seeing someone is asking if the activities in the yard to lose weight.
Yes. So you can be creative. You don't have to go any special place in order to engage in exercise that can help you lose weight. But let's also remember our intake, our diet is important, right? So in terms of losing weight at home, once you're clear, you have exercises such as jumping jacks, you have squats, you have lunges. You can, if you have a driveway or if it's around the house, once it's a clear path and it's nothing you have to be hopping, jumping, and skipping over, take a few laps. You can also, based on what I do, I am open to recommending and prescribing a program. So I can prescribe a program that you can do at home, whatever equipment that you have. We don't all have what's in the gym. We may have a few dumbbells, we may have a resistance band. Sometimes we don't even need any of that. We can use a tin of peas. We can use a lot of different things. We can stack a bag with some books. We can use a broom. We can use our laundry detergents. So there are creative ways. So if persons like, they can reach out to me and I can design a program that you can utilize what you have at home, get outside in the yard, get moving. It's really you taking the initiative of making that first step.
Okay, great. And Chelsea, if you could share your contact information, please.
Yes, so I can be reached via my Instagram or Facebook page, which are both tagged at Morph Your Wellbeing. My email address is also morphyourwellbeing@gmail.com.
I'm just
and I can also be reached at my number, which is 764-3405.
Right. I just put the Morph Your Wellbeing into the comments so persons can see that there. And of course there's Chelsea-Marie Spence. So I'm seeing someone is asking if there's something like over exercising.
Yes, we also need to rest, right? We need to recover. Just as important as sleep. Sleep is also important. That's a factor that I want to touch on a little bit. Sleep. Our bodies need to take time away from everything. Take time away from the media, take time away from reading, take time away from TV, take time away from exercise, take a little bit of time away from people, right? Our bodies need the time to rest and recover. So there is such a thing as you're exercising too much. That's why there's a recommendation of how much you should get on average. So if you are an avid person that works out, you have cardio, you have strength training, but you have rest days in between. You're not going to exercise strength every single day. You're going to set out your days. Am I going to do strength training Monday, Wednesday, Friday? And on my Tuesday and Thursday, I'm going to get some light cardio in. My weekends are for me to rest and recover. It's okay to rest and recover. Don't feel that I need to do every single day and go hard every single day, because then you're going to put yourself at risk for injury because the muscles are no longer getting time to recover. They need just as much time to recover. They need to sleep too. Our minds need to sleep, right? Our organs need that time to rest. And that's when they do their work. When we're asleep, our organs are actually working. Kidneys are working, the liver is working. So we need to sleep as well. So out there for our adults, it's actually recommended 7 to 9 hours. I know a lot of times people only get 4 to 5 hours sleep, which is not sufficient. And we kind of wonder sometimes why we're so tired or why we get tired quickly. So our sleep is also an important factor in managing how much we exercise. Knowing when is the best time for you to exercise, that's something that you have to figure out. Some people are better able to exercise in the morning. That's the first thing that they can do. Some people are not into that at all, and they have to exercise in the afternoon. So you have to learn your body and know when is optimal time for me to exercise, which is the same thing now working from home, where we have other commitments. We may also have our significant other or partner or whoever at home working. We have to manage the kids at work, working at school as well. So what is my best productivity level at home? Is it when the kids are finished at school? Is it before they start school? We kind of have to navigate that on our own and kind of figure out what times are best suited for me.
Okay, great. I'm seeing I have a question here. Someone is asking about diet. Does your diet play an important role? And another person is talking about consistency is their challenge. I don't know if you might have a tip for that person and to just talk about diet.
Yes, diet is very important. We have to manage our intake as well. So if you are expending a lot of energy throughout the day, you have to put that energy back in. You have to balance the scales. So as we said, maintaining balance and moderation. The key is what is your goal? You have to set a goal. Is my goal losing weight? Is my goal to put on weight? What is my goal? If I'm trying to lose weight, my energy intake has to be less than my energy output, right? If I'm going to try to put on a little bit of weight, my energy intake has to be more than my energy output, but it has to be managed. This is where the registered dietitians, your personal trainers, they are equipped with this information to help guide you on when you should do that type of change in your diet, for how long you should do it. Because you don't want to do it for an extended period of time, that it then puts a damper or harms some internal organ, right? Because remember, we have to fuel the body. The body needs the energy to move. In terms of consistency, struggling with consistency, yes, that is a big one. So a tip that I use is setting goals. What is my end goal? I'm going to write that end goal down. Goals are truly very important. And we use the acronym SMART. So you want to be specific in your goal. You want to be able to measure your goal. Is your goal attainable? Is it realistic? And you want to put a time to it. That can help you be consistent. Having your goal written down, and you can always go back to it. And it's okay to miss a day. It's okay. Don't feel pressured because I didn't get to exercise today. There are things that come up in our daily life that we have to take note of and may need a little bit more of our attention. But you need to know, okay, tomorrow, this is what's happening. This is what I'm going to do. So write that goal down. That goal is going to help you be consistent. If you don't have that goal down, then you may think, why am I doing this? What am I trying to achieve? But if you have a goal in mind that I want to strengthen my legs, I find that I'm losing my balance a little bit often when I'm walking. I want to strengthen my legs. Set that as your goal. How am I going to achieve this goal? Okay, so I now need to do some exercise geared towards me strengthening my legs and towards my balance. That's a realistic goal. How much time am I giving myself before I check back in? Am I giving myself 2 months? Okay, I'm giving myself 2 months. So you write, today's the 26th, so I'm going to come back at the end of July to look at it again. Then you know, okay, I'm being consistent. Or even at the end of June, you check in and you know, okay, Chelsea, you're kind of slacking a little bit. You're not being consistent. We have a goal in mind, but we're not seeing any changes because we are not putting in the work. So my advice is being consistent, is writing down your goal, put it on your wall, put it as your screensaver on your phone or your wallpaper, put it as your screensaver or your background on your laptop. Write it on a sticky note and put it on your mirror so you see it every morning when you're brushing your teeth. Whatever your goal is, make sure it's visible. Make sure you have that reminder. Once you have that reminder, your mind is going to help you be consistent.
Okay, great. We have a couple of questions here. Probably try to wrap up in the next 5 minutes, but we have someone here asking, in terms of what is a good baseline for Tyndall, what is a good baseline for weekly activity to stay healthy? And then I will just throw in the next question. We also have is somebody's also asking, what exercises would you recommend for someone who is just starting out?
So the first one is what you can do as a baseline.
Yeah, what is a good baseline for weekly activity to stay healthy? I'm not sure if the person means like how much, because I think we have touched on that in terms of how much activity. Yes, but I guess
So
just
a good baseline would be 30 minutes, 3 to 5 days for the week, right? And you can split that up any way that is most comfortable for you, but that's the target baseline that you want to work with. Once you find that you're comfortable there and you want to come out of that comfort zone, then you can increase to doing a little bit more. But your baseline is at least half an hour for the day.
okay.
And the second one is exercise that you can do.
Yes, if it is you're just starting out, what exercise would you recommend?
So if you're just starting off, walking is a good tool just to get you going, right? Once you feel comfortable walking, you can then throw in some resistance training because we also need to balance it. The cardio is important for the heart, but we need the strength training and the resistance training for our upper body and our lower body muscles because we do chores, just cleaning your housework, sweeping, mopping, moving a chair. They require us to have some level of strength. So from getting into a regular routine of walking, you can then introduce some of the basic exercises, such as a squat, a push-up. You can do your push-ups from your knees. The squat, I demonstrated earlier. If you're not comfortable doing the squat, you can do a sit-to-stand. So I'll do it one more time. Right? So that's just sitting on the chair and standing. Right? Then standing behind your chair, going up on your toes. Those are some basic exercises that you can do to start off. Recommended at least 10 reps, and you can do 2 to 3 sets for each of those exercises. But split them up. Don't feel like you have to do those exercises every day. Give yourself a day in between, especially if you're now starting off, because the body has to adapt and adjust to your change in movement.
Okay, great. And we have another question here. I think this will be the final question unless someone else pops in after this. Is in terms of, women in menopause, what kind of exercise routine at home do you suggest for that?
Right, so that is always tricky because when you're going through menopause, your hormones are kind of not in the balance that they would have been when you were younger. So it's really you finding what's enjoyable at that stage of your life. What do you like to do? And also going through menopause, it's important to consult with your doctor because a lot of change in hormones may be affecting your bone, they may be affecting your muscles, they may be affecting your pressure. So it's really important at that stage in life that you check in with your doctor to make sure you have the clearance. But at home, anything that can get you moving that you enjoy doing. Once it's safe and you enjoy dancing, you don't need to follow a routine. You can put on some music and get dancing, get moving. Anything that gets you moving would be your form of exercise, really. But for those that are going through menopause, it's important that you get clearance just because of the imbalance with the hormones before you begin that exercise routine.
Okay, and I'm seeing another question here. Exercises for a pregnant woman. What are your thoughts on that?
So exercise is important for pregnant ladies. This is where you most times need a coach. They know specifically what you can and cannot do just because of the abdominal pressure. You don't want to put too much abdominal pressure. So there's certain things you can do and can't do. So you're not going to do a sit-up, you're not going to do a crunch. If you're doing a squat, there are variations to the squat. Your legs may have to be wider. If you're doing a row, so it's really important that you get guidance if you're pregnant. But it's not that because you're pregnant, you have to refrain from exercise. But being pregnant also requires you to get the okay from your doctor. Because a lot of people go through a lot of different things when they're pregnant. Internally, that the doctor may require them to be a little bit more sedentary for the time. But once you get the okay that you don't have to be sedentary and you can move, I suggest getting the guidance from a professional that has the experience working with pregnant women, because every exercise that you find out there is not going to be suitable for you. You may also have limitations going through your pregnancy, but exercise is recommended.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Chelsea, for a very informative session. And thank you also attendees. Well, we went way over time, but I think that what I'd like to invite you to do is just drop in the comments, one word that you would use to describe the session. So I'd just like to invite you, drop it in the comments. Let me see what that one word is that you would use to describe the session. And you can also take the opportunity to share with us what you would like to see in future sessions. Yes. So I'll give you time to do that. And Chelsea, any last parting words you'd like to share with us this evening before you leave?
So in a nutshell, please remember your exercise snack. We're in a pandemic now and things are not normal. They're not the way that we would like them to be. So don't let that keep you back or stop you from achieving your goals. Set your goals, use your phone as your reminder, find that balance. Everything is in moderation and try to be consistent.
Thank you so much, Chelsea.
No problem. It was
Yeah.
nice. I enjoyed being here.
Okay, great. And people, please remember, yes, I'm seeing Liesel saying informative, someone saying more ergonomic exercises, timely. I'm glad that you all found it informative. And as I said, if you have, Chelsea, can you just repeat again your contact information because some people might have come in late, and then we'll wrap up. Yes?
So for contact, you can reach me either on Instagram or Facebook at More of Your Wellbeing, via email moreofyourwellbeing@gmail.com, and through phone 764-3405.
Okay, and I saw Lauren said encouraging, great. So, please take that exercise snack, keep moving, get moving, and I'm borrowing a phrase from a Nike trainer. Let's have a movement, creating a movement, because that's really important. It's important for us to be moving. We don't want to 3 months from
Our bodies
now.
are meant to move.
Yes, our bodies were meant to move, and we don't want to be in a space where we got this information, we didn't use it, and it could have made a difference. Because I would like to endorse you, just do consistent, set your goals, try to take some exercise snacks twice a day, and give yourself, I would want to say, give yourself 30 days. I wouldn't want to say less than that. I don't know, Chelsea, you would probably
No, that's a good start.
yeah, 30
For us to
days.
start. We have to find somewhere to start, and I think that's a good start. Set something for 30 days and see where we can take it.
And see where we can take it. And what I know for a fact, you exercise, you get more energy, and you might find yourself overdoing it now. So that's where it comes very important to just check yourself.
To find the balance.
Find the balance, check yourself. All right, please enjoy the rest of your evening and stay safe. Yes, thank you. Bye bye.